Welcome to Wild Expeditions, where every frame is a journey into the wild today. We take you to the African savannah, a land where weakness has no place, where survival is an unending battle. The sun rises over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the vast grasslands. But beneath this beauty lies an unfolding drama. High above, vultures glide in silent circles, a grim omen that soon another life will be lost. Below, a river of wildebeest moves across the dry plains, their pounding hooves echoing across the land. They do not move by choice, but by necessity. The dry season is coming, and only those who keep up will have a chance to survive. But nature is not just for those who run beneath the still water. A pair of cold, unblinking eyes watches every movement. A young wildebeest, unaware of the danger, steps away from the herd, lowering its head to drink. A single moment passes, then the water explodes. But the battle isn't over on the riverbank. Another predator watches the chaos. A leopard, its golden eyes locked onto the scene. It does not fight the crocodile for its meal. Instead, it waits for the next mistake. And when a frightened calf runs in the wrong direction, it takes only a fraction of a second. The hunt begins. There is no absolute ruler of the savannah. A crocodile may kill a wildebeest, but when it grows old and weak, it will fall to the vultures. A lion may take down a leopard, but if it fails to hunt, hunger will bring it to its knees. A new day begins, and so does a new battle. Yet, this is just the start of the endless cycle of survival. Under the pale light of dawn, the first golden rays filter through the trees, casting a soft glow over the endless savannah. The early morning breeze stirs the dry grass, carrying the scent of earth, dust, and the last traces of night's moisture. In the distance, a herd of elephants moves slowly toward the watering hole, their heavy footsteps leaving deep imprints in the cracked ground. On a low hill, a group of impalas grazes cautiously, their ears twitching at every unfamiliar sound. Beneath the fallen trunk of a withered tree, an African wild dog stirs, preparing for the day ahead. There is no rush, no disorderly commotion. Every movement follows an ancient rhythm, a ritual passed down through generations. Muzzles touch, gentle licks graze faces, not just gestures of affection, but a way to reinforce their unbreakable bond. They are not solitary hunters. They do not rely on brute strength or overwhelming speed. Their power lies in strategy and unity. A small scouting group separates from the pack. Moving silently through the low shrubs, their mission to survey the land, ensuring no unseen predators lurk from the night before. Even as master hunters, the wild dogs understand one harsh truth: predators can also become prey. Once the scouts return, signaling no immediate danger, the pack makes its decision: move on or hunt. They have no permanent territory, no land to defend. They are travelers, capable of covering hundreds of miles in mere days, stopping only when the land offers enough to sustain them. No place is home. only temporary ground beneath their feet. A few soft whimpers pass through the pack, a sign of agreement. The decision is made. The pack begins to move, their mottled black and gold bodies flowing like liquid through the grass. They do not know what tomorrow will bring, but they do know one thing: stopping means death. As the sun rises higher, its golden light stretches across the plains. In the distance, the impalas graze peacefully, unaware that danger is drawing near. Amidst the tall grass, silent figures weave through the landscape, blending seamlessly into their surroundings. Sharp, golden eyes lock onto their targets. No wasted movements, no signs of hesitation. The wild dogs are in position. They do not hunt with sheer strength or unmatched speed, they hunt with strategy. No hunt begins with excitement, it begins with observation. Among the herd of impalas, the strongest individuals, with their agile legs and lightning-fast reflexes, are not the targets. Instead, the wild dogs search for weakness, a calf not yet fast enough, an aging impala slowing down, or one injured during the last migration. The prey is chosen, but the pack does not rush in. They move slowly, blending into the herd's rhythm. When the time is right, a small group suddenly breaks forward, not to attack, but to create chaos. The herd erupts in panic, scattering in different directions. In that brief moment of confusion, another group of wild dogs emerges, cutting off the escape route of their intended target. No frenzied chase, no need to outrun an impala, just the intelligence to outmaneuver it. A calf loses sight of its mother, sprinting in the wrong direction. An injured impala struggles to leap over a mound of dirt, but stumbles. When that moment comes, there is no escape, no prolonged struggle, no unnecessary cruelty. When the prey is caught, the dogs end it swiftly. No triumphant roars, no drawn-out play like lions, only efficiency. Lions hunt with brute force, yet their success rate is only around 30%. Leopards rely on speed but have only seconds to finish the job before exhaustion sets in. Wild dogs are neither the strongest nor the fastest, but they are the most effective. With a success rate of up to 80%, they are relentless warriors, masters of strategy. The pack moves on, leaving only faint footprints behind. Tomorrow the hunt will begin again. In this unforgiving land, only those who cooperate, wait for the right moment, and strike with precision will survive. Out in the open plains, the African wild dog pack gathers around their hard-earned meal. There is no chaos, no growling disputes. The gentle nips exchanged between pack members are not signs of conflict, but reminders of order, a reaffirmation that the pack comes first. But this meal is not guaranteed to last. As dusk settles, shadows begin to move in the distance. Silent figures approach, eyes gleaming yellow in the twilight. Then comes the sound, a chilling, eerie laughter that shatters the stillness. The hyenas have arrived. They do not rush in, nor do they hide their intentions. They know that patience is their greatest weapon. Hyenas do not hunt with strategy like wild dogs. They lack absolute unity, but they have something just as dangerous: stubborn persistence and overwhelming physical strength. A full-grown hyena can crush bone with a single bite, and they know it. The wild dogs do not panic. They do not retreat, but they do not engage recklessly either. As the intruders move closer, the pack immediately spreads out, constantly shifting to prevent encirclement. They do not run, but they will not allow themselves to be trapped. The hyenas try to close in, but each time one lunges forward, a quick, precise bite halts its advance. Not a fatal strike, but enough to hurt, enough to frustrate. Small, relentless counterattacks begin to wear the hyenas down. They are not used to being pressured by weaker opponents. They are used to forcing others into desperation. But now they are the ones trapped in a tactical stalemate. Tension thickens in the air. The hyena's laughter no longer carries its usual menace. The wild dogs remain unwavering, their sharp eyes locked onto their enemies. They do not need to win with brute strength. They only need to make their opponents lose patience first. Finally, one hyena lunges, but three wild dogs retaliate instantly, from three different angles, not with fatal bites, but with swift, targeted nips at its legs, hips, and tail. Not enough to kill, but enough to be a nuisance. One by one, the hyenas realize they have no advantage here. No abandoned prey to steal, no panic to exploit, no opening to seize. Reluctantly, they begin to withdraw, still eyeing the meal they failed to take. But understanding this battle is lost. The wild dogs do not chase them. There are no victory cries, no displays of dominance. They do not fight for power, they fight for survival. As the last of the hyenas vanish into the night, the pack simply resumes their meal, as if no battle had ever taken place. Tomorrow, the scavengers may return. Another fight may break out. But the African wild dogs will be ready. They are not the strongest. They are not the largest. But they are the ultimate survivors. The African wild dog pack moves silently across the savannah, leaving nothing behind but faint footprints on the dry earth. They have no fixed territory, no place to call home, only an endless journey, searching for prey and staying clear of stronger enemies. But today, their greatest threat does not come from nature. It comes from a changing world. Once they roamed across Africa in numbers reaching hundreds of thousands. Now fewer than 6,000 remain in the wild, not because they are weaker, but because they cannot fight against human destruction. The grasslands and forests they once wandered are shrinking, swallowed by saw blades and fire. Roads cut through their territories, dividing packs and making it impossible for them to find mates or expand their range. Isolation weakens their genetic diversity, causing their numbers to dwindle even further. But that is not their only challenge. As natural prey becomes scarce, they are forced to move closer to human settlements, preying on livestock to survive. And that means bullets, steel traps, and poison. Even those that avoid humans are not safe. Domestic dogs carry silent killers, rabies, distemper. diseases that can wipe out an entire pack within weeks. Yet, there is still hope. Protected reserves are expanding. Wildlife corridors are being established to reconnect isolated packs. Conservation efforts are educating communities, helping people understand that wild dogs are not enemies, but an irreplaceable part of the ecosystem. But time is running out if action is not taken now. Future generations may only know African wild dogs through old documentaries. As night falls, the pack continues its journey, unaware of the threat looming over its existence. But will they still have a tomorrow? Under the golden glow of dawn, the savannah awakens. The first rays of sunlight spill across the dry earth, illuminating the swaying grass as a gentle breeze passes through. In the distance, a herd of impalas gathers around a shallow waterhole, their ears twitching at every unfamiliar sound. Along a dusty trail, a procession of elephants moves steadily, their heavy steps pressing deep into the cracked mud. The scene is peaceful, but in the wild, peace is always fleeting. Amid the slow rhythm of the morning, a powerful presence emerges. From the edge of the grasslands, a group of ostriches strides forward, their long legs moving with effortless strength. They have no sharp fangs, no deadly claws, yet no predator dares to underestimate them. They do not fight with brute force, they survive with speed. With legs nearly 5 feet long, an ostrich can cover over 13 feet in a single stride, propelling itself forward at speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. The fastest runner in the avian world and fast enough to outrun any land predator. Even the mighty cheetah, the fastest sprinter on Earth, cannot sustain its speed long enough to catch a full-grown ostrich. But speed is not their only advantage. Perched above their powerful bodies, the largest eyes of any land bird scan the horizon, capable of spotting movement from over 2 miles away. A predator may hide within the tall grass, but it cannot escape the watchful gaze of an ostrich. When danger appears, they do not panic, they assess, they know when to run, and when they run, they do not look back. Unlike antelopes, ostriches do not need to seek water every day. They extract moisture from their food, leaves, wild herbs, scattered across the arid plains. While other animals are forced to migrate in search of water, ostriches endure, making the most of what nature offers. The wind sweeps across the savannah again, stirring dust into the air. The ostrich flock moves forward, their strong legs gliding over the cracked earth. But then tension grips the air. A leopard emerges from the distance, its piercing golden eyes scanning the plains, searching for a weakness. Yet the ostriches do not flee in panic. They stand still, they observe, they calculate. They understand that a leopard has only seconds to decide. If it is spotted too soon, it will not waste its energy on a chase it cannot win. Ostriches do not need to fight. They only need to avoid becoming a target. And the moment the leopard moves, so do they. No hesitation, no second guessing. They explode into motion. Their long legs propel them forward like arrows, leaving a swirling cloud of dust behind. The leopard leaps into action, but within moments, it realizes its mistake. The distance grows wider. The prey is gone. In the wild, strength alone does not guarantee survival. Fighting is not always the answer. The ostrich flock continues on its way, indifferent to the chaos of survival battles unfolding around them. They are not weak. They are simply creatures that understand one truth. Sometimes, speed is the greatest weapon of all. A sandstorm sweeps across the savannah, engulfing the land in thick, swirling dust. The sun is obscured, leaving only faint beams of light piercing through the murky haze. The howling winds flatten the tall grass, forcing every creature to adapt to the chaos. But amid the shifting dust, one figure stands firm, a female ostrich. She does not panic, she does not flee. Her large eyes scan the landscape, alert to every movement. Her grayish-brown feathers blend into the earth, making her less conspicuous in the wild. In the distance, a herd of impalas huddles around a dwindling waterhole, focused only on the last drops of moisture. They remain unaware that sharp eyes are watching them from afar. Beneath the dust-laden air, a pride of lions waits. They do not charge recklessly. Instead, they creep low to the ground, breathing as softly as possible. Today, their target is not an impala. This time, they are after the ostrich, an unusual challenge, but if they get close enough, even speed will be meaningless. The wind dies down and the dust begins to settle. In that brief moment of silence, a male lion explodes from the tall grass like a lightning bolt. Powerful muscles unleash raw strength, and massive paws tear into the dry earth as he accelerates. One precise strike to the ostrich's slender neck, and the hunt will be over in an instant. The sandstorm fades and the sun re-emerges, casting its golden light over the land. Only deep footprints remain on the dry earth, a silent testament to the chase. The lion, ruler of the food chain, has lost. Not because it was weaker, not because it lacked strength, but because it faced a creature that knew how to turn speed into a weapon. In the wild, the strongest does not always win. It is the smartest, the ones who know when to fight and when to run, who survive the longest. Under the pale blue sky, thin clouds drift lazily, softening the harsh glare of the sun. A hot wind sweeps across the golden grass, revealing cracked, barren earth beneath. In this unforgiving wilderness, a band of mongooses moves as one, flowing like a living current. There is no chaos, no stragglers. Each individual has a place, each movement is precise. Mongooses do not have the sharp claws of a lion or the blistering speed of a leopard, but they possess something even more powerful: intelligence, teamwork, and remarkable adaptability. They do not claim fixed territories or dig their own burrows like meerkats. Instead, they make use of whatever shelter they can find: a crack between the rocks, an abandoned rodent hole, or the exposed roots of a fallen tree. At the edge of the group, a single mongoose stands tall, its sharp eyes scanning the grasslands. Its ears twitch, catching even the faintest sounds. A shadow passing overhead, a rustling bush, an unfamiliar noise from a distance. At the slightest sign of danger, it will send out a warning. With just one short call, the entire group reacts instantly, without panic. Beneath sparse trees, others are busy foraging. They do not ambush, they hunt overturning dry grass with swift paws, sniffing every crack in the earth with keen noses, insects, scorpions, small snakes. Nothing escapes their menu. But more importantly, the protectors always remain close to the young, ready to act at the first sign of threat. A deep, distant sound changes the air. In an instant, a lone hyena approaches the mongoose clan. Its cold yellow eyes scan the small creatures, weighing its options. It is not desperate with hunger, but if the opportunity arises, it will not hesitate to strike. For a moment, the entire group freezes. Then, in perfect unison, they rise. Dozens of small mongooses stand upright, their bright eyes locked onto the predator. They do not flee, they unite. In the eyes of the hyena, they are no longer scattered individuals, but a single, larger, and unpredictable force. The hyena hesitates. It knows that one mistake could lead to injury, and in this harsh land, an injured predator is a dead one. A young wildebeest calf now seems like a much safer choice. After a brief pause, it turns and walks away. The tiny warriors remain motionless, watching until the threat has fully disappeared. Then, as if nothing had happened, they return to their routine. There is no fear, no retreat. In the savannah, weakness is not an option. Survival does not belong to the strongest, but to those who know how to fight without fighting. The mongoose clan moves on. The sentinels continue to watch, the hunters keep searching, the protectors remain close to the young. They do not have overwhelming speed or brute strength, but they have strategy, intelligence, and unity. And in this unforgiving land, that is the greatest weapon of all. The midday sky is no longer a brilliant blue, but stained with a pale golden hue. The sun beats down mercilessly on the cracked savannah, its heat pressing down like an invisible weight. The parched earth trembles slightly as dry winds sweep through brittle grass. Beneath the sparse trees, where patches of shade provide little relief, the mongoose clan carries on with its daily routine. But in the suffocating stillness of noon, danger is approaching, silent, unseen, and without warning. Hidden beneath the sun-scorched grass, a massive cobra glides like a slow-moving current, its coiled body slithering with lethal grace. Its empty, unfeeling eyes scan the terrain ahead, its forked tongue flickering, tasting the air for traces of life. It is not hunting, but this land does not belong to it and the small warriors of the savannah will not allow an invader to trespass unchallenged. Perched on a low rock, the sentinel spots the intruder. Its small, dark eyes sharpen like blades. its body stiffening in an instant. No wasted movements, no panic. It emits a short, sharp call, just enough to awaken the entire clan. In a heartbeat, everything stops. The foraging mongooses immediately rise on their hind legs, their keen eyes sweeping the landscape. No one breaks formation, no one flees. The younger ones quickly retreat toward the center, shielded by the protectors. And at the outer ring, the warriors take their positions. The snake senses the shift. It does not feel fear, but it cannot ignore the rising tension. The African cobra is a fearsome predator. It can kill an antelope, even a leopard, if its strike lands perfectly. But this time, it is not facing a lone enemy. It is surrounded. A single mongoose steps forward, small, swift, fearless, does not lunge, does not rush. Instead, it circles the snake with careful steps, its agile paws barely making a sound on the dry earth. A step forward, a step back, a calculated tilt of the head. Its eyes never leave its opponent. The cobra rises, its hood flaring wide, head lifting high, its body stretching into a striking posture. It lashes out with lightning speed, but its fangs find only empty air. The mongoose has vanished before the venomous bite can land. The battle begins. The mongoose does not fight with brute strength. It fights with strategy. Each time the snake strikes, the mongoose disappears, dodging in the blink of an eye. But the cobra does not realize it is being drawn into a deadly game. Each attack grows more frantic, each strike faster, but still missing, it twists, trying to reach its elusive enemy, and that is its fatal mistake. The trap is set. The circle tightens. From another angle, a second mongoose moves like a flash of lightning. In a single, precise leap, its sharp jaws clamp down on the back of the snake's head. The cobra thrashes violently, its tail slamming against the ground, its coils constricting in a desperate death grip. But it is too late. The mongoose has struck the killing point. The snake's struggles weaken, its lifeless eyes darken, its triangular head droops. A few seconds later, all movement ceases. The little warriors do not celebrate. They do not fight over the fallen snake. No one rushes to tear at its body. This was not a hunt. It was a battle to defend their land, their family. The victorious mongoose releases its grip, gazing down at its defeated enemy. There is no triumph in its eyes, only the calm certainty of a duty fulfilled. And then, as if nothing had happened, the mongoose clan resumes its work. The sentinels return to their posts, the foragers go back to turning over dry grass in search of insects, and the young ones curl close to their protectors. No panic, no one left behind. In the savannah, there is no place for weakness, but the rulers here are not the ones with the sharpest claws. They are the ones who fight with intelligence and strategy. Today, the mongoose clan has won. But they know that tomorrow another challenge will come, and they will fight again, just as nature has shaped them to do for thousands of years. The sky stretches endlessly above, cloudless and vast. A single dark shadow glides across the sunlight, casting a slow, shifting silhouette on the ground below. With wings spanning nearly 6 feet, the martial eagle drifts effortlessly, creating spiraling air currents as it hovers high above. It does not rush. For this predator does not rely on brute force, but on absolute patience. From its lofty perch, razor-sharp eyes sweep across the savannah, searching for the faintest sign of movement. A tail flicks out from behind a bush, a subtle rustle in the dry grass. One small mistake is all it takes to become prey. But below, the mongoose clan is anything but careless. As the shadow sweeps past, a single sharp call rings out. No one panics, no one runs. Immediately, the entire clan rises, their small eyes burning with focus. Together they emit low, unified warning calls. We are not alone. The martial eagle blinks, adjusting its wings to reassess. What it sees is no longer a collection of small creatures, but a single, coordinated force. Something strange, something unpredictable. It has seen this before. Attacking a mongoose clan that stands its ground is a mistake. But the eagle is not so easily deterred. It circles above, waiting for a lone individual to break away from the group. Yet the mongooses understand this as well. There is no clear signal, yet all at once they disperse. Each one moves in a different direction. One dives into a bush, another slinks into a rocky crevice, while the rest weave through the terrain, vanishing completely from sight. The martial eagle beats its wings harder, scanning desperately for a target, but every trace of movement is gone. It circles one last time before silently turning away, searching for easier prey. Below, a pair of eyes peeks out from a rocky gap. A mongoose sniffs the air, then issues a soft call of reassurance. One by one, the tiny figures reappear, slipping back into place, continuing their work as if the giant predator circling above had never existed. No one was lost, no one was harmed, no one strayed from the clan. Beneath the dry, cracked earth, where tunnels weave between roots and scattered stones, a new generation is stirring to life. Tiny newborn mongooses, their eyes still tightly shut, their fragile bodies curled together for warmth. They do not yet know that the world outside is a ruthless battleground, where only the swift and the clever can continue the journey. But from the moment they open their eyes, they already have one advantage. They are not alone. Unlike many predators, mongooses do not abandon their young, nor do they entrust them to a single caregiver. As the first rays of sunlight filter through the burrow's entrance, the adults are already in position. Some stand watch, their sharp eyes scanning the savannah, ready to detect the first sign of danger. Others hunt, bringing food back to the helpless newborns. But the clan cannot protect them forever. One day, these tiny creatures will have to step into the light and face their first real test. The first day outside the burrow holds no warm welcomes, no comforting embrace, no detailed instructions. They learn only by observing, by trying, and by failing. Out here, no one waits for them to grow up. There is no time for hesitation. Their first lessons begin with the simplest of tasks. An adult mongoose drops a small cricket in front of the pups. One lunges forward, clumsy and imprecise. The insect leaps, vanishing into the grass. Another tries again, slower, more focused. A swift pounce. This time, the prey is caught between tiny, determined jaws. But not all prey is defenseless. The next challenge, a scorpion. Its tail arches high, ready to strike any reckless attacker. One pup, eager but inexperienced, rushes in too quickly. The venomous stinger lashes down, barely missing its paw, a painful but necessary lesson. The second attempt is different. Another pup steps forward, but it does not make the same mistake. It waits, watching closely. The moment the scorpion raises its tail, the mongoose lunges from the side, locking its jaws around the scorpion's head before the sting can land. But the final test will determine who truly has what it takes to survive. This time, the opponent is a venomous snake. No protection from the clan, no one to shield them. The pups must now face a real threat, a predator that can kill them in an instant. They have seen the adults battle snakes before they know the clan's strategy, how one provokes while the others wait for the perfect strike. But this time, there is no guidance. The clan moves on. The young ones who have passed their first trial will continue to grow, to learn, to fight. One day, they will be the sentinels, the warriors protecting the next generation. The savannah makes no room for the weak. Only those who adapt the fastest will endure. A gentle breeze drifts across the savannah, carrying a thin veil of dust over the cracked earth. No more roars, no more desperate chases. But beneath this quiet, another battle is about to begin. Not between predator and prey, but between rivals of the same kind. Mating season has arrived. For most of the year, male ostriches wander alone, but now they have a greater purpose, securing a harem, ensuring the next generation. In the open plains, a dominant male stands his ground, his sleek black feathers glistening under the sun, his wings spread wide, not as a threat, but as a declaration. A deep, resonant call rumbles from his throat, not to intimidate, but to announce his presence. From a distance, the females watch carefully. But they will not choose a mate based on display alone. They need a warrior, one who can fight and endure. A shadow appears on the edge of the grassland. Another male is approaching. He does not rush. He does not flaunt his strength immediately, but his eyes say everything. He has not come to back down. This is not a race. This is not a chase. This is a battle. There are no roars like a lion's, no ambushes like a leopard's. But as the two males face each other, the tension crackles through the air. They do not charge right away. They analyze, they wait. Then, suddenly, a kick is thrown. The challenger dodges, but he does not retreat. He counters instantly, his sharp claws raking forward, striking with force. A kick is not just about brute force. It is a calculated strike. They do not charge blindly into battle. Each attack is aimed at the opponent's weak points, the chest, the head, where a precise blow can end the fight. There is no place for weakness in the wild. Only the strongest deserve to lead. Dust rises with each powerful stomp. Long necks whip against each other, muscular legs deliver relentless kicks. Sweat begins to glisten beneath thick feathers, but neither fighter backs down. The females continue to watch, waiting for a victor. Then, the decisive moment arrives. One male starts to falter. His breaths grow heavier, his steps slow. His rival does not hesitate. A stronger, more precise kick lands, and in an instant, the battle is over. The defeated ostrich struggles to rise, but the fight is done. There is no rage, no prolonged, meaningless battle. The loser quietly withdraws, surrendering the flock to the stronger male. This is not humiliation. This is nature's law. The victor stands tall beneath the golden glow of the setting sun. He does not need to roar to declare his dominance. His triumph speaks for itself. Slowly the females approach, observing him closely. They do not choose the most aggressive contender. They choose the one who endures. The sun sinks below the horizon, painting the savannah in hues of orange and crimson. A final breeze sweeps across the land, carrying away the dust of the battlefield. There is no hatred, no regret, only the unchanging rule of nature. Tomorrow, another challenger may rise, another battle may unfold, but today the strongest has claimed his place. On the savannah, only those who are worthy leave their mark. The silence of the savannah never lasts. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a fiery glow over the land, the steady footsteps of the ostrich flock continue across the dry grass. The victor of the battle has secured his place, but in the wild, dominance is not what truly matters. What determines the future of a species is the next generation. Beneath the sun-scorched earth, a tiny miracle is taking shape. Nestled in a shallow hollow, hidden among the low grass, an ostrich nest lies still, giant eggs waiting for the moment of awakening. There is no absolute protection in nature. The adults may fight for the flock, but for those yet to be born, survival is far more fragile. Both the male and female take turns incubating the eggs. By day, the female's grayish-brown feathers blend seamlessly with the sandy ground, keeping watchful predators at bay. By night, the male takes over, his black plumage shielding the nest under the cover of darkness. They cannot protect the eggs from every threat, but they can at least give the next generation a fighting chance. A faint crack echoes in the still air. A small fissure spreads across the surface of an eggshell. Tiny beaks tap tirelessly against the hard exterior, determined and relentless. And then a chick emerges, its eyes blinking at the harsh world for the first time. There is no time for adjustment. Within hours, they must rise to their feet, their unsteady legs wobbling as they struggle to follow the flock. But nature never waits. Above, a shadow glides across the sky. The African hawk eagle has spotted its target. It does not need brute force. It does not need a prolonged chase. All it requires is a single, weak chick, one that cannot keep up. A warning call rings out. The chicks immediately drop to the ground, their small bodies blending with the sand. The eagle circles, scanning for movement, but finds none. Within seconds, it gives up and moves on, searching for an easier meal. Once again, the smallest have survived, not through strength, but through instinct. But danger does not only come from the sky. In the distance, a lone hyena lurks. It knows that a full-grown ostrich could kill it with a single kick. But a stray chick is another story. The young are not sheltered. They are not coddled. They are taught to survive. The flock keeps moving, neither running nor panicking. They cannot shield their young forever, but they can teach them the lessons of survival. Those who cannot keep up, who fail to watch, to learn, will not last long. The first few days pass and the harsh laws of nature take their toll. Some chicks are too slow, too weak, too unlucky. They fall behind and nature makes no room for the sluggish. Only 10 to 15% will survive to adulthood. Those who remain are the ones who have learned, who understand the signals of the flock, who know how to use the terrain to disappear, who react the moment a predator appears. The survivors are stronger now, their legs are sturdier, their instincts sharper. Behind them, faint footprints fade into the hot sand. The fallen have become part of the unforgiving cycle. Not all are meant to survive. Only the worthy continue the journey, and that is how nature endures. The sun slowly sets, painting the savannah in brilliant shades of orange. The ostrich flock continues its journey. The surviving chicks now stronger on their feet. But no matter how resilient they are, they cannot fight against an invisible enemy, the changing world. In the distance, elephants make their way toward the watering hole. Impalas graze lazily on the dry grass. On the surface, everything seems to follow the ancient rhythm of life, but the truth is different. Artificial roads cut through the vast plains, forests shrink, giving way to barren land. Wild savannah is no longer untouched. It is disappearing, bit by bit, day by day. As human expansion continues, wildlife loses more and more of its habitat. It is not just about land. Poaching, deforestation, climate change, together they are suffocating nature. When predators vanish, prey populations explode, ecosystems collapse, and the savannah will no longer be a place of life. But it is not too late. If we act now, we can help protect wild savannah. Expanding wildlife reserves, restoring ecological corridors, and raising awareness are key. Reducing the demand for wildlife products, supporting conservation efforts, every small action can lead to big change. Thank you for watching Wild Expeditions. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventures. Share this video to spread awareness and protect the beauty of nature. See you in the next journey where life continues against all odds.